So yeah, we're still up with coffee anyways, and then we have their turn, and then it'll be Ardreth. So we still have some time before we get to the other players here. So coffee, in your 6 seconds of, you tried to communicate, but you weren't quite able to. You see them floating up. All of them have floated up. This one that you were trying to communicate has begun to float up, so he's not quite as far up as the other ones. I'll ping it, this one. And the rest are drifting towards the second floor.
Coffee's under the understanding that the giant will not interfere with anything anymore. Therefore, he's not interfering with the giant. The fact that Greybeard's pawing all over him, can I target just Greybeard with sleep?
Well, let's look at the actual wording of the spell. I think it's an area of effect, right? Let's check it. So, roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creature the spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of the point you choose within range are affected, in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring unconscious characters. So it's going to start with whoever has the lowest hit points in the 20-foot area that you're choosing. If we made a 20-foot circle, draw a shape, we said...
Yeah, I think it'd be too gamey for me to... And Greybeard just said that he's not going to be able to play at all tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just play through them, and then we'll figure out how that goes.
All right. I am not going to attempt to sleep him at this point. If it was something that, yeah.
Given everyone's success with death saves, it might be in his best interest if you put him to sleep for this entire episode.
Exactly. I think it's just too... I thought it was something because I'm used to like throwing it into a bunch of creatures and it not affecting your party members, but that maybe I'm doing that wrong. So I don't want to like offset it by 20 feet just so it gets him and not one of the dwarves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be pretty close, and to be, the way everybody's standing, I think it'd be weird. It would either get one of them or get Finn.
Yeah, and I don't want to. If I don't have control over it, I'm not going to take that chance. So I'm just going to perform, I guess, a dodge action on keeping Greybeard from getting my stuff. Okay. Actually, yeah.
There's no way that clumsy dwarf is grabbing something off you.
Exactly. I should just like put my hand on his head and push him back so he can't reach me.
His arms just windmill.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so bonus actions are movement at that point.
No, I'm just gonna be, I guess, backing up, fending him up.
Okay. We'll move to next in order. And you don't have any of your stuff on, no blade songs, nothing like that we should be tracking, right? I don't think any of that got turned on quite yet.
I think maybe blade song did, because I see my AC is adjusted.
Yeah, I think they came in, but I don't know if you turned anything on. I don't know if you cast anything by the time we started this.
I don't think I cast. I think I just went into blade song. I would have to go back through the stream to see.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be, would it be in the chat? No, probably not.
No, verbal.
No, I think you were just trying to communicate. I don't know if you did anything but try to communicate.
Yep, I'll check if it is.
Yeah.
We can go forward.
No big deal. All right, so their turn. They have floated up to the second floor, so I'm gonna move them. The second floor with the giant. So he's not quite made it up all the way. And on the second floor, is anybody close enough to see up there? Ardreth, your angle, you see, because they, when they get on the second floor, they kind of went this direction, so you kind of have a view. And as they get to the lip of the second floor, they come out of gaseous form, and it is a group of dwarves. And then you see them run off to, we'll just say north is the top of the map. They run off to the northeast. Hear the giant kind of saying to them, "What are you doing? No, stop that!"
How?
And he's struggling with them up there, but you can't quite see them anymore.
Okay. So I'll yell to the rest of the party and let them know that they've left gaseous form. And now they're just a bunch of ordinary dwarves.
Yeah.
Can I still see them, or how far away are they?
No, you saw them for a moment, and then they bolted to the northeast, and
Okay.
you're not able to see them anymore.
All right. Did I have time to react and yell? Because I speak Dwarvish. Did I have time to yell, "Halt, friends"? Or are they just...
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
you would
okay.
have time.
I will scream at them the minute that they convert over then.
Okay. They do not seem to stop. They seem intent on moving quickly. You see them dash when they come out of their form, and then they just dash out of sight. And you think they heard you. They could have possibly heard you. You yelled loud enough, but they didn't stop.
Okay. And then where on the map again are the stairs up, or do we float? I was trying to remember how we actually got into the upper area.
There's no way up. It's just a circle. The way the giant has been going up and down is using a floating disc that he uses, and it's a spell that he casts to go from one level to another. But there are no stairs, there's no ladders, there's nothing like that. You still do see one gaseous form dwarf is getting close to the hole in the ceiling. It's not quite up there. Anything else? Nope, I'm not hearing you if you're talking.
That's because I hit my mute button by
Oh,
mistake.
there you go.
Was there any response from the rest of the party when I let them know that they've turned back into dwarf form and we need to figure out a way to get up there?
Would I have heard that from outside?
Yeah, it's just a curtain there, so the way he's yelling, yeah, you'd still be able to hear it.
Okay. I don't have a response.
There we go. Put it on Ardreth's turn. That's good.
Everybody noticed that there was a dragon up there, right?
You guys definitely heard it. You don't see it at the moment.
Okay, then I saw it when I went outside. So I'm just going to yell back that there's a silver dragon up there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's up top. He's like flying around the top of the tower. He's not in the tower.
Gotcha.
Do we know anything about dragons?
I think we had a mediocre nature roll
Did we?
last
Okay.
game. We know that the metal ones are good, and the chromatic ones are not. I think is what.
I think general that's the you guys didn't have a really good roll, but that's the general knowledge. It doesn't mean that there aren't some that are different, but that's usually common knowledge.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing a way up there, so I will hold my action. And I looked through my spells, and I have nothing that will let me float. So.
Okay. So that was Ardreth's turn. That brings us to Ian.
Oh man. There's no way to get up there. There is no communication from this stupid giant. I have no loyalty to this giant. I don't terribly care for dragons. There's gaseous dwarves. If that giant falls down, he's falling down here. Let's see. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Oh, fuck. I have no idea. I'm going to hold my turn. And if anything attacks me, I will attack them. That is
All
what
right.
I'm holding for.
All right. That sounds like a good trigger. Okay. And no movement. You're just going to stay right there on that table. I assume you're on the table or are you under the table?
I'm under this table.
That's right, because of the dragon, right?
Yeah. I will. Let's see. I'm close to the center, so I'll move back. Closer to the chair. Can I stand under the chair or no?
No, that's a solid. There's nothing underneath it. It's just solid stone.
Oh, all right. Then I guess I'll move to the other leg of the table, the one behind me.
Okay.
And I'll stand there.
All right.
That's my turn.
Awesome. That brings us our dwarf, who we will say will continue to follow Coffee, but he's just pleading with you to say, sprinkle the dust on me so I can fly up there, and he's trying to convince you to do it. Okay, so you guys are having kind of an argument over the fairy dust. We're not going to have him fight you for it. If he wanted to do that, he could be here for that. I'll have him just arguing with you vehemently as his turn, which then brings us to, so that was Greybeard, and that brings us to Finn, our paladin. You are up.
Well, I tell you what, we've been with the giant for days at this point. I don't know these dwarfs, but they are clearly attacking the one person who has shown us any kindness over the past week. So I will pull my bow, and if I see a dwarf head, I'm going to shoot it.
Okay. Currently, in the spot you're at, do not see anything. You see the form of one of the gaseous ones moving up to the second floor. I assume would you want to shoot that one, or?
I would not bother to shoot a gaseous form dwarf.
Okay. So we'll just have you hold unless you see a dwarf.
But our giant is clearly being attacked upstairs.
What you can hear from him upstairs is he's like, what are you doing? Stop that. And he's obviously trying to do something to them. He's obviously trying to stop them. But you're not like hearing death cries. You're not hearing whatever he's doing. He's not just laying into him. It's not like fireballs are going off and lightning strikes or anything like that. It's more like he's maybe just pushing them around or trying to stop them from doing something up there. And he doesn't appear to be trying to kill them. He's not like unleashing huge magic or anything.
All right. Well, I won't fire on a trigger then. But if I'm going to have it out and ready.
Okay. All right, that brings us to Jarral, who's outside. You are up.
So, Jarl is going to. So how far up is the dragon at this point?
Yeah, I mean, judging, it's above the tower. It's obviously keeping the
Like, is it within shouting distance?
griffins. Is it in what?
Shouting distance?
Probably not. I mean, you're 1,000 feet in the air, moving through the world. The top of
Okay.
the tower is probably 60, 70, maybe 80 feet up. There's lots of flapping wings. There's lots of noise from the griffins. There's lots of noise from the dragon. And from what you can tell, it just looks like the dragon is keeping the griffins from landing back on the tower at this point.
Okay. There's really not a lot I can do. I'm just gonna come back inside. You know what? I'm just gonna keep an eye outside. If anything looks hostile and comes near me, then I may attack or do a dodge or something like that. But at this point, it's just I'm keeping eyes outside, see what's going on.
Okay.
Is the island still are the clouds still moving? Or has it since stopped since he's not driving it anymore? Or at least I'm
It is
assuming
still
he's not driving.
drifting at the moment. Yeah, it is still drifting at the moment.
Oh, okay.
It's drifting
Okay.
north still.
Sure. Alright. Thank you.
And I need to add him. Let me bring him up. There he is.
Maybe someone with a clearer head should get the pixie dust sprinkled on him to fly up there. Obviously not Greybeard.
The one dwarf in your group.
Do we have one of those?
Our angry dwarf? Yeah.
Oh, second least angry Ian then should go.
Yeah. The most diplomatic of the group.
Yes.
All right, so that was the bottom of our round. That's gonna bring us back to the top. I'm gonna let Zephyros go though because I did not give him a turn. He should have been in there. I'm gonna give him a turn now and then place him where he should be, there. So at the top of this turn, you do hear a spell. Coffee, you can do an Arcana check to see if you recognize what it is. Yeah, you think it's a very high level charm type or enchantment type spell of some sort. It's clearly the giant is casting it. It's definitely pretty high level. And let's see. So he's going to cast that. Each of them have to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. So they're going to make wisdom saving throws against his DC. Spell save. Ooh, wow. He's got a super high spell DC. Okay. So he casts, and you hear his voice begin to boom, and laced in his words are magical energies. And he says to these dwarves, I want you to stand on the disc. I want you not to move off the disc as I push it to the bottom floor. And they're all going to make wisdom saves versus that. So he is using a mass suggestion spell. All right, so let's get to these dwarves and let's do some wisdom saving throws here. So it looks
So
like...
glad we never attacked him.
No pluses to that. Do 5 of those. Oh, okay. So 2 of them are able to resist the spell. 3 of them go and stand on the disc that suddenly appears at the 2nd floor and begins to float down, and 3 of them are standing there listening to his spell here. And that spell is going to last for... Oh, okay. A long time. A really long time. Or until he cancels it. It's not even a concentration spell. Oh my god. Okay. So 3 of them begin to float down on a disc. We'll just grab these 3 here. Down, and they stand on the disc as ordered. That will be Zephyros's turn. All right, that puts us at the top of the order. Coffee, you are up. They're currently, I'd say in a turn in 6 seconds. They are almost to the ground level, and you can see 3 dwarves that are dressed in split mail. You could do a history check to see if you recognize some symbols that are on their armor and on the different shields.
They look dwarven.
Yeah, yep. You didn't, for whatever reason, you don't have a good look at it. They appear to have battle axes and crossbows. They're definitely kitted out. In their hands are battle axes. But they're standing on the disc, and it's almost to the floor. It'll be to the floor by the next round.
And they're still gaseous, or they're not anymore?
The 3 are not. The one that is almost to the ceiling is still gaseous. So these 3 here, these 3 bottom, the 3 bottom ones, they are physical form dwarfs. Kind of staring and looking at each other and straining against the spell, but they're compelled to listen to the instructions they were given.
Okay, so they're not moving at this point.
No, they're standing on the disc, and they can look up. They're looking around, but they're not moving off the disc, and it's floating towards the floor.
I'm gonna tell the rest of the party that these guys are the giants incapacitate them via spell. And then
you had a pretty good roll too. You realize that this is probably the type of spell that if you damage them or try to hurt them, it's going to break the spell.
Good to note. Binding them, would that count?
The technical wording of the spell is if they damage the creature, it is broken.
Alright, I'm gonna tell the party to leave them alone then.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't know how I would rule that. I'd probably just do a dice roll to see what happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that they are paralyzed and held, and don't interfere. It will break the spell. And I will continue to smack Greybeard around.
Okay. So that is your turn. That's their turn. So these gentlemen or these dwarves, we will say now the disc has reached the floor. They're standing there just staring at you guys, but not leaving the disc. This one is now made it to the 2nd floor, turned off the gaseous, and has charged forward to join whatever fracas is still going on upstairs that you guys can't quite see. They can't do anything. These two are going to do some attacks. So let's do some battle axe attacks here. Uh-huh. All right. You hear the clang of weapons on something upstairs, and as it hits and it makes the noise, you feel the tower shudder. And you hear Zephyros tell them once again, stop doing that. And he's up there grappling with them, pushing them, fighting them, doing something as the tower shook violently. It is now stopped. Also, it stopped moving. All right, and that brings us to Ardreth.
Well, since it appears the platform's the only way up, I am going to move towards the platform and get on it. You said just basically don't interfere with them, I think was the command that we got from Coffee.
Yeah.
So I'll get on it.
Okay.
And I will have my longsword out in my right hand and my sax in my left, close to this dwarf in case something changes with him.
Okay.
And then yell in the common for everyone to get on the pedestals so we can go up and help the giant.
All right. As you're looking at them, go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay.
See if you recognize any of the symbols they wear.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're not currently recognizing anything.
Not at all. Okay.
All right. That would bring us to Zephyros's turn.
I do speak Dwarvish, by the way, which, if that helps any as I'm looking stuff.
They're standing right in front of you.
Okay. Oh, no, I meant when I'm reading things. I didn't know if that was taking into account the symbols or other
okay.
pieces. So, no, that's where I was going to with it. All right.
All right. And
When I look up, how high is the next level, though? I mean, it's
Next
fairly
level.
high up.
I think it was 60 feet, wasn't it?
It's way up there.
It was just 100
let me
feet.
get Back to that.
Okay. 100. I was trying to figure out if I attached something to the rope and threw it up, if I could.
Yeah, it's a 100-foot high chamber.
That's not going to happen. Okay.
Okay.
Damn giant security system.
Yeah. Okay. So Zephyros, he only had one of those. Yeah, he's gonna put himself. You guys can't see what he's doing. You hear him yelling at them to stop hitting the sphere. And that is, you guys won't be able to see too much else what he's doing, so that brings us to Ian. Ian is
I
up.
can't believe I'm the one that's gonna do this, but I walk over to where I was before, still under the table, and I call out to the dwarves in common because I don't know Dwarvish, and I say, "What are you doing? We are thousands of feet off the ground. Why are you attacking this cloud?"
And which one are you talking to?
To the general dwarves that are in front of me.
Okay. So this one turns and looks at you, still doesn't get off of the disc, and says, "You need to stay out of this."
I'm sorry. I'm 1,000 feet off the fucking ground. I'm so beside myself. I look at the other two. What are their...
And
what
yeah,
do
he
they
gives
look
you a
like?
look, and says, "And why is an elf conspiring with a cloud giant anyways?" He gives you a hard look.
Why are dwarves conspiring with a dragon? Apparently the world's fucked up today, isn't it? Do I recognize what they're wearing?
You can make a history roll. See if you recognize any of the symbols. Still
Nope.
not quite there.
I don't.
You guys are not up on your history.
We should have studied in school.
And he kind of looks at you weird when you talk about the dragon, and he's like, "An elf doesn't know that some dragons are good? Where have you been?"
I'm like beside myself at this point at just like how incredulous and frustrated I am with the entire situation.
Okay.
And I just level him with like the dirtiest glare I've ever given anybody.
Okay. All right.
And I don't I don't hold any action. I just move back.
Okay. Let's move on to Greybeard. Again, he's wrestling with your pouch there. He's pleading. He's lying to you. He's negotiating with you. He's offering to buy pixie dust. He's going through the whole gambit. Are you going to give him any?
I think it's withdraw.
Still no.
No.
It's kind of like crystal meth, but just pixie dust.
It's like spice.
You can't handle the dust.
He's really mad at you now, but well, not like rage mad, but just mad. That was Greybeard, and then all right, so that'll bring us to Finn.
All right. I'm gonna
You're up,
march up.
Paladin.
I'm gonna shout for Zephyros to raise the platform
Do a history
so that we
check.
can help him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm an idiot, but I'll do a history check.
Let's see.
I mean, at this point, what are the chances someone else is gonna get a 10?
At least they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, we're going in the right direction. We're going up.
Yeah, that's actually enough, Mr. Part of Other Organization. You recognize they are wearing the symbol of the Lord's Alliance faction.
The Lord's Alliance. What do I know of that?
It's a great question. You know probably a little bit because you've dealt with, your faction has dealt with their faction a little bit, so you would know a little bit. So let me just give you a general. You would know that several settlements in the north have banded together to form the Lord's Alliance. It's basically a coalition that proactively eliminates threats to the mutual safety and prosperity. The Alliance leaders are still pretty contentious, but they are respectable lords. Key representatives of the Lord's Alliance include Lord Daggalt November of Neverwinter, Lyriel Silverhand of Waterdeep, Lord Terran Harnblade of Silvery Moon, and Queen Dagnabbit of Mithril Hall.
See that one, the last one again?
Queen
what?
Dagnabbit.
That's amazing.
Dagnabbit.
That's the best name.
It's
So-
Prince Whippersnapper.
And you do know that they are similar to the type of faction that you're a part of, in that they use operatives or even adventuring groups to deal with things that can't just be taken care of by normal means.
All right. I will freely share that knowledge with the people around us, but I'm still going to shout for Zephyros to raise us up so that we may aid him.
Okay. And he's going to make a perception roll to see if he hears you. Oh, yeah, he's got a pretty high passive perception. And he has advantage on wisdom checks. So let's do a wisdom check with him. He gets advantage. Yeah, he hears you even though he's up there fighting. And the disc begins to raise.
What?
So
We don't get a chance to hop on there?
it's, let's see, it's already raising, and we'll see. You might be able to make an athletics check, possibly. So it begins to shoot up into the air to bring you who's on the thing there now, and then Jarral is up.
Running jump.
Yeah.
And yeah, you would have to make a leap to catch it. You're going to actually have to jump up and try to grab it and then climb up. So 2 checks. One would be the run and jump, which would be a dexterity check, probably, or you could probably use athletics.
This is all right in the monk wheelhouse.
We'll just say a DC 12.
Alright, so Jarl's basically keeping watch outside, not seeing much change. Can I see through the curtain, or is the curtain opaque?
You see shadows, but you don't see details. It's not a clear curtain. It is meant to obscure.
Alright, so I would have heard Finn ask for the platform to raise. So I'm going to come back inside and I guess see it raising and take a leap for it.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Athletics?
Yeah, I would say athletics for the jump to catch it, and then we'll make an acrobatics check to kind of flip yourself up as you catch the edge.
Alright, athletics is strength. This sucks.
No, you almost make it. Your fingers brush the underneath of it, but you don't quite catch the edge, and you kind of land underneath it.
So, just out of curiosity, would the action to raise the platform not wait until his turn? Because I was planning on running for the platform when I heard him say to raise it. I figured I had time. But if not, no big deal. So he's on the... I guess I'll put myself here. Off the platform.
And then, did you have any movement left? Because you would probably need to use the dash to even do that, right?
Yeah, I would have no movement left.
Okay, so that'd have been your action. Okay. All right. So that brings us back to the top. Coffee, you see the platform raising. It's probably 15 feet off the ground at this point. It's moving. It's about to start picking up a lot of speed.
I wave at it and smack Greybeard on the head.
Okay. All right then. So that brings us to our dwarves. And the dwarves on the disc are looking at you, Finn and Ardreth, and the lead one here who's talking says, "You need to leave us alone. You need to let us complete our mission. It begins to raise up faster and begins to move quicker and quicker as it's making the 100-foot rise to get you up to the second floor. So those 3 can't move. The other 3 are going to attempt. All right, so they're going to attempt to strike again. Where'd they go? There. So let's do battle axe. All right. Nope. He's able to fend them off. And they are not able to do what they wanted to do up there, so that is their turn. They miss. Okay. That brings us to Ardreth.
So the 3 of them are still just kind of hanging out on the pedestal, right?
Yeah, they're standing on this disc of translucent light.
Okay.
It's kind of like a yellowish. You can't see through it. It's very firm and solid, and it's beginning to pick up speed as it rises.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, they're staying on the disc and they're not moving. They're talking and they're reacting, but they're not doing anything else.
Okay. So I will ask Finn if he thinks a dwarf can fly.
I will smile at you, knowing that you're not going to push one of them off.
Knowing that I'm not going to push one of those. I guess at this point, I'll just put it this way. Are we getting the perception that they're hostile towards us or just trying to cause no good?
They have taken no hostile action towards you guys.
Oh God, this would be so funny though. All right. At this point, I'll continue to wait on the pedestal with my sword drawn. How close are we to the top area yet?
You're going to get there in just a few more seconds. It's rising quickly. So by your next turn, you'll definitely be at the second floor.
All right. Then I will just hold and wait till we get to the top.
Okay.
Oh man, I want to see a dwarf fly.
All right. Zephyros is up.
There's always Greybeard.
True. But these ones would hit the ground more.
All right. And he is going to... What other spells does he have? Anything else? No, he's using his action to do something specific. You guys still can't see that yet, so... All right, his turn is done. Ian, you are up. You see the disc. Well, you don't even see the disc anymore at this point from your vantage point. But you did see it raise up and then leave your vision. You see Jarral come back into the tower. You still see Greybeard arguing and grasping and trying to grab stuff off of Coffee's belt.
Let's see. How do I want to go about this? So what I do is, this is fine. I don't have to go into this knowing what words I'm going to use because I have a low charisma. I am going to put, both my pinkies in the sides of my mouth, and I'm going to whistle very loudly. And I'm going to say 5-year-old, I swear. And I'm going to say, after I whistle very loudly, to everyone to stop. I'm going to say, stop, shut up. We're in between a giant, a dragon, and a bunch of fucking dwarves. Everyone calm the fuck down. And we'll see how this goes.
All right, give us a persuasion check.
Oh, good. I'm great at those, guys. Great. Not only am I a great roller, I have a great. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just for the
Yeah,
record, I haven't rolled above a 10 yet.
Greybeard hears you, and he redoubles his efforts at arguing with Coffee at this point.
What? 5, 10, 15.
Is Greybeard under some influence of something? Or is he just being
No.
ornery?
Yes. And I,
He really
with
wants
my
to
free
fly.
hand, with my free hand, I knock him on the head.
All right.
I just boop him. Not
Uh,
hard enough to like hurt him, but enough to get his attention.
so go ahead and swing at him. Like an unarmed, not hitting him with anything, just you're punching him.
Yeah, I'm just booping him on his head. I don't know what to do. How do I roll that? Is it a D20?
Is that the technical term for that? And is that like
yeah, if probably just do a strength check, because that's going to be your strength plus bonus, which would be your unarmed attack, anyways.
Yes, that's the official term, booping.
I was just looking it up inside the manual, so I wanted to find it.
Yeah, let's look at his.
Right,
Go
my
to his
connectic
character.
zoink.
He's not raging.
No. Oh yeah, you bonk him on the head, and he. Oi! What'd you do that for? As he turns to you,
And
and now
just
he's
level
he's
him.
arguing with you.
I level him with the glare.
He's trying to plead with you. Help me get the pixie dust from Coffee.
Well, I already booped him. I can't boop him again.
Nope. All right. So Greybeard's turn is going to continue arguing with you two. As long as you're staying there, he's going to stay there. He can't get on the disc anyways. He was too slow to even see it rising. So Finn, you were up. The disc is speeding quickly to the ceiling. You'll probably be there by your next turn, but you're not quite there yet.
I'm gonna
The dwarves are glaring at you.
I'm gonna look at Ardreth and say I know not what happens when we reach the top, but the Lord's Alliance are typically not evil. I will attempt to dissuade using the flat of my flat of my hammer. I will attempt to dissuade non-lethally, and then I will cast Bless on the two of us.
Okay, so you give him a game plan, and then that brings us to Jarral. You see the disc is now probably 70 feet about in the air above you.
Your ego and pride are a little bit bruised.
I got nothing. I'm gonna walk over to 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm gonna go over to these guys and ask them what all the fuss is about. What are you arguing about?
Yeah, Greybeard immediately turns to you and says, Coffee's trying to keep the pixie dust from me. Tell him to give it to me.
What is this pixie dust?
It'll make us fly, he says, and his eyes glow.
So, as dark as and kind of charcoaly as his skin is, it still kind of goes a little pale at the thought. But he does take a glance at the platform, and then looks back at Coffee and says, "This could be of help here. We can't split up and have these two, Finn and Ardreth, take everybody on while we're down here being useless."
I'll wait to hear from Finn. If he needs us, we'll use it.
I want so badly that when and if Greybeard uses it, that he just immediately falls unconscious. just so badly. I want that to be what happens.
So Jarral is not gonna press the issue because he really doesn't want to go up there. He doesn't want to fly, so he's just gonna accept what Coffee says.
Okay. All right, that brings us to the top of our turn, Coffee. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the evening. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes.